Alright guys, let's go ahead and get started here. So basically tomorrow you guys have a quiz on multiplying decimals. Really easy. A couple different ways we can do it. We can use an area model, we can use a standard algorithm. So I think what I'm really going to do first is I'm just going to start with what we were working on today in class, and then I'm just going to go from there. So if you hop in the chat when I get going and you got any questions, just let me know and then we'll go from there, okay? So let me go ahead, and I went ahead, I made myself some copies of today's work. So the first thing we did is a fifth grader has a budget of $160 to buy props for a play. They need to buy 3 matching play sets. A play set must include 1 plate, 1 cup, 1 bowl, 1 fork, and 1 spoon. They have a table, but they also need to buy 3 matching chairs. The chart shows the prices below with a different option. Okay, now we could start by estimating this. And if I would have estimated solid dinnerware, I would have done $7 for a plate, $7 for a bowl, and $3 for a cup. 7 times 7 is 14, times 3 is 17. So I would estimate it cost me about $17 per set. If I need 3 sets, then I would multiply that by 10. Should be not by 10, by 3, which would be 17, and then 34, and then 51, I believe. Let me think. 51. So it would cost $51 for a set of 3. That's just my quick estimate. Then I could go on down, look, and look. This is about $1, so that's $3 for a set of forks. And then I could do another estimate, that's about 20, so that would be $60, and I could estimate that all up and see if I could get under 160. Okay? That's what I would have done. Super quick there, okay? But kind of over. Hey, Jasmine, how are you? Oh, I like your little, Jules Girly Gamer. Okay, I like your screen name, I guess, Sarah, I should say. Okay, so the estimating would have been super easy, okay? But I'm not going to go over that part with you guys. You could figure it out. The part I'm going to go over is I'm going to create a plan. We were asked to create 2 different plans for buying the props the students need for the play, and then make sure to include the tax, and to show that each stays under plan stays within the budget, tell how much money is left over with each plan, okay? So I'm just going to create one plan as an example, and you guys should be able to do the other plan. So the plan I'm going to do is I'm going to do a pattern dinnerware, because I like fancy. And then I'm going to do some fancy fork and spoons. So I'm going to choose this one, and I'm going to choose this one. And then I'm going to do some metal chairs to save some money. And hopefully the people won't notice what they're sitting on, okay? So on the back of this sheet, you guys should have had this right here, which is some models that would help you. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to fill in the information from the front side. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to fill that in on my model. So if the cost for a plate, per plate for a pattern was $9.19. A bowl was $8.62. And a cup was $5.99. Hey, Jaden, what's up? Hey, Coy. So my first thing I got to do is I'm going to add this up so I can find out what would be my cost for one set. And what I'm going to go over here is I'm going to do 9 and 1900ths, which is the same as $9.19. I'm going to do $8.62, and I'm going to do $5.99. And actually, I took out some graph paper, so I'll use this. Because the one thing I want you guys to remember is when we're adding up decimals, so this is going to be overall, this is going to be plan 1. And right now we're getting a cost for 3 sets of pattern dinnerware. Okay, So I'm going to add up the plate was $9.19. The bowl was $8.62. And the cup was $5.99. Make sure everything is in line, because when I add and subtract decimals, I need to keep everything lined up, okay? So I'm going to do 9 plus 2 is 11, plus 9 is 20. So I'm going to put a 0 there. I'm going to carry my 2. 2 plus 1 is 3, plus 6 is 9, plus 9 is 18. So I'm going to put an 8 here. And carry my 1. 1 plus 9 is 10, plus 8 is 18, plus 5 is 23. So I'm going to put my total there is $23.80 for one set. But I know that I need 3 sets. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go back to my page, my chart, and I'm going to write in $23.80 for one set. And then my cost for 3 sets, I'm going to go ahead and all I got to do is multiply that by 3. So I'm going to have $23.80 times 3. Remember, when we're multiplying decimals, we don't worry about lining up the decimals. We just want to line up the digits. Now, when I multiply a decimal, I'm going to treat this like the decimal's not even there. So I'm going to do 3 times 0 is 0. 3 times 8 is 24. Carry the 2. 3 times 3 is 9, plus 2 is 11. Carry the 1. 3 times 2 is 6, plus 1 is 7. So now, once I'm done multiplying, I have to determine how many places were to the right of the decimal in my I'm sorry, I just got a text. In my product, in my factors, inside of my multiplication problem. So for this, I'm going to take out a colored pen. I know I have one place here and one place here. That makes 2 places. There isn't a decimal in my second factor, so I need to count out 2 places in my answer. 1, 2. So my decimal would be between the 1 and the 4. So I would have 71 and 40 hundredths are $71.40. What's up, Jelly Bean? Let me know if you guys have any questions or stuff. So now I'm going to go back to my chart, and I'm going to fill in that $71.40. Okay? Put an extra thing there. So now I need to figure out what is the cost for my fancy forks I want to use. I'm going to call them sporks since it's forks and spoons. But I want the fancy stuff. So per item, it costs us $2.29. But I need 3 of those. So I'm going to go back to my scrap paper. And I'm going to do the cost for 3 sets of fancy. And we're calling them sporks. Duplo 90 Craft. Is that Jonathan? I think it is. Okay, and I have my cost, which was $2.29, and then I'm going to multiply that by 3. So what I would do is I would do 3 times 9. And remember, just because we have a decimal, we multiply it just like we would whole numbers. Nothing changes. This stuff's so easy. What's up, Kenny? 3 times 9 is 27. Put the 2. 3 times 2 is 6, plus 2 is 8. Cross that out. 3 times 2 is 6. So I know that 3 times 229 is 687. Now I worry about the decimal. At the very end, when I'm multiplying, it doesn't matter. We act like it's not there. So we don't ever want to get caught up on that, okay? If we can multiply whole numbers, then we can multiply money. We can multiply decimals, and we're good to go, okay? So last thing, just like before, how many places in my 2 factors are to the right of the decimal point? I have right here is 1. Right here is the second one. That gives me 2. So in my product or my answer, I need to have 2 places to the right of my decimal point. That means I would put my decimal point at between the 6 and the 8. So what that's telling me is if I want 3 sets of my fancy pantsy sporks, it's going to cost me $6.87. So I'm going to go back and I'm going to write on my table $6.87. And then remember, I chose the metal seats because I'm hoping nobody knows what they're sitting on because they got fancy stuff in front of them. And I'm going to do $19. Oh, that's the cost per one chair. Is $19.99. To multiply this, I'm not going to write it out because I could do this in my head. Because I know $19.99 is 1 penny away from 20. So I'm going to do 3 times 20 is 60 because we want 3 chairs. And then I'm going to take 3 cents away from 60, which is going to give me $59.97. Okay? So are we following so far? Any questions? Let me know. So then that's my first part. Now I have to add these together so I have a complete set, okay? So for plan 1 for dinnerware, I'm going to spend $71.40 for spoons and forks. For sporks, I'm going to spend $6.87. For chairs, I'm going to spend $59.97. And I'm keeping these. I like that, Kenny. I'm keeping these lined up because I'm adding decimals. So I have to keep it lined up. Adding is different than multiplying. So I'm going to add all this up, and that's going to give me a subtotal. Okay, let me zoom in. I hope you guys can see this pretty well. That's going to give me a subtitle. So I'm going to, a subtotal, I'm going to add all that up. 0 plus 7 plus 7 is 14. Carry the 1. 1 plus 4 is 5. Plus 8 is 13. Plus 9 is 22. Carry the 2. Cross out the 1. 2 plus 1 is 3. Plus 6 is 9. Plus 9 is 18. Carry the 1. 1 plus 7 is 8. Plus 5 is 13. Bring down my decimal. So without tax, I'm going to spend $138.24. Exact. So I'm doing 2 things at once. I'm watching the chat. So exactly what Kenny just said is I'm going to take that subtotal and I'm going to multiply that subtotal by my tax. So to do that, I'm going to take $138.24. I'm going to write that as 138 and 24 hundredths. I just set off my watch. And I'm going to multiply that by 5 hundredths. 5 times 4 is 20. So I'm going to write my 0 here, carry my 2. 5 times 2 is 10. Plus 5 times 2 is 10, plus 2 is 12. 5 times 8 is 40, plus 1 is 41. I'm going to cross out the 1, carry my 4. 5 times 3 is 15, plus 4 is 19. 5 times 1 is 5, plus 1 is 6. Cross that out. So now I know that if I didn't have any decimals and I did 13,824 times 5, I would get 69,120. But we have decimals. So now I need to remember, where do I place my decimal point? Because remember, we multiply like it's not even there. So where I place my decimal point is I count how many digits are to the right, which is 1, 2, 3, 4. And then I go under here and I go 1, 2, 3, 4. So my decimals will be between the 6 and the 9. Now I'm not done here because I'm using money. So money doesn't go past the hundredths because the smallest denomination is a penny. So I need to round to the nearest hundredths, which is this place right here. So I need to look at the thousands place. Is the thousands place above 5 and I round up, 5 and up, or is it below 5 and I round down? So 2, I'm going to round down. So I'm going to keep $6.91 is going to be my tax. What's up, Johnny? What's up, Landon? So $6.91. And I'm going to add that together. So now that's going to be my tax. When I add all that together, it's going to give me a total. Okay? 4 plus 1 is 5. 2 plus 9 is 11. Carry the 1. 8 plus 6 is 14. Plus 1 is 15. Carry the 1. 3 plus 1 is 4. Bring the 1 down. We're adding, so we line up the decimal. So my total is $145.15. So the way I would explain this is I would simply do, let me think about this for a second. We have some sentence starters. The total, when I'm going to use this one, we're going to use, one of our sentence starter is the total cost. Of all the items needed for the picnic was $145.15, including tax. If I had a budget, of $160, I would have almost $15 left over. Hey, Josh. So, I could also go on and say that I chose fancy tableware and some cheap chairs. Some cheap metal chairs. Okay? And that's what it would look overall. Good job, Kenny. Come see me tomorrow. I'm going to have something for you, man. Have to go find something tonight for you. All right. So, right there just shows an example. Now, what I'm going to do real quick is, because I'm really thirsty and I forgot to grab a water before I start streaming, is I'm going to grab a water. It's going to take me like 1 second. And then I'm going to go over one more problem, and I'm going to show you how to do an area model. Because I know we talked about that a couple of days ago, but it will be on your test again. They're super easy, nothing to stress about. All right, so I'm back. That feels much better. So, one of the things I know for sure that's on your quiz, because I have your quiz right here, is to make an area model. Haha. Quick little tease for the people on the YouTube right now. Now, if I was you, I would totally go back, pause that, see if I could figure out the question. But you know, some of you probably won't, but I would. So this was for the just to recap again before I move on. This was for the project that we did in class as a group. You guys should have most of this information. I did one complete plan. It took me 15, 20 minutes while I was on YouTube. You guys had a bunch of time in class, so there should be no problem with you finishing this. The other example I want to give you is I just want to do a quick example so we could do an area model. And I'm going to do, the problem I'm going to give you is, we'll say solving with area model. Okay? And it's going to be 2 6/10 multiplied by 3 9/10. Okay? So to set up the area model, we're just going to go ahead and I'm going to create a rectangle. And this one's going to be more like a square, actually. I don't have 4 boxes. The reason I have 4 boxes is really simple. It's kind of because I have 2 place values. I have, trying to get a pen. I'm going to do 2 and then 6/10 here. And I'm going to do 3 and then 9/10 here. I'm going to multiply them together. 2 times 3 is 6. 2 times 9/10 is 18 hundredths. Because 2 times 9 is 18. Oh, no, wait. I'm wrong on that, guys. Hold on. Mr. Savage made his mistake. 2 times 9 is 18, so it's going to be 1 8/10 because there's one place behind the decimal. 3 times 6 is 18, so it's going to be 1 8/10. And then I'm going to do 6 times 9 is 54, but there's 2 places behind to the right of the decimal in my factors. So that right there is going to give me 54 hundredths. Kenny already went back and solved it. Nice. I gave it there, so if anybody watches a YouTube video, they get a free hint, okay? It's almost like a free question because you can practice it at home. Next thing I do with my area model is I add these 4 together because these are my distributive property that told me I could break it apart like this. So I'm going to add 6, but I'm going to put 2 zeros behind it because I have something to the hundredths place. I'm going to add 1 8/10 or 1 80 hundredths. I'm going to do that twice because I have 6, 1 8/10, 1 8/10, and then I'm going to have 54 hundredths. I'm going to add those up. It's 4. 8 and 8 is 16 plus 5 is 21. 2 plus 8, 2 plus 6 is 8, 9, 10. And then when I add, I just bring down my decimal because it's lined up. So my answer is 10 and 14 hundredths. Alright guys, I'll chill here for like 30-40 seconds to see if anybody else had any other question. And I'll go ahead and answer it. If not, I'm going to get out of here because you guys are desperately cutting into my video game time, which you know I love my video games. And actually, I just want to go home and hang with my kids real quick for a little while before they go to Boy Scouts. So, you guys got any questions? Or are we good to go? Let me type in the chat. I usually don't participate in chat. Oh, make sure you subscribe. Come on now. I need like 100 subscribers. I don't know how close I am. Alright guys. Well, I'm not seeing any questions, so I'll definitely talk to you guys later. Remember, your parents can message me on Dojo. However you need to get a hold of me if you got any questions. Good luck tomorrow on the quiz. It's going to be super easy. One last thing. Study your vocab. All right, and I'll talk to you guys later. Hey, Jacob, thanks for stopping by, man. I'll see you guys later.